All right, this is the May 13th, 2013 OUYA Hangout. And just going to try some APKs today. Agenda-wise, I don't know. I thought about maybe I'll make a test app. I wanted to investigate a few different issues that are on my plate. Like in a native app, I wanted to count how many motion events are detected at the origin. So I already had like an app that counted how many motion events there were, but I wanted to adapt it to just like count how many origin events are detected. So that could be exciting. I can show you how to copy and paste and build one of those. Yeah. Entries. Whitewater. 26. So what happened last week? I don't know. Lots of testing. I fixed the bug in the framework. That was kind of cool. So I flexed my Java code skills. So hopefully there'll be a new ODK going out soon. Don't know the exact date yet. Or I should say, I don't know if the date is public or not. I don't know. It's doing the usual cycle, test cycle. Here I'm just downloading. I was doing some IAP changes, so I made a video about it before, but let's see. So we go into...
I got my buttons hooked up for IAP, I just haven't done it yet.
I was thinking about adding a few more events, like an on-cancel event to everything.
No, cool.
We can just do that while we're talking. All the things I was thinking about doing. Wow. Dropbox is going pretty slow. I got 6 minutes. I can write a whole bunch of code in 6 minutes. Visual Studio's launching. There we go. So I started updating the documentation. So, okay. So I made the OUYA plugin public now. So I guess I do have some stuff. I started using this tool called SourceTree, which makes working with Git a little more pleasant. I'll watch that too. Everything's thinking about it. So SourceTree, just Google for that, and it's a free download, which is cool. And then you just put in the public repository link. So that would be the public repository link to the stuff that's in my signature, I think, actually. So let me grab like a post. I know the windows are responding. There we go. Okay, so in my signature at the bottom, it just says the ouya-unity-plugin is available on public Git. So the owner is OUYA, and then there you go. So I threw in the Apache 2 license. So everything's under Apache 2, and I edited the source files so that they have the license at the top. I also included my document. So there's that PDF I push, and it's like, well, it's easier for me if I just have the original doc that I used to edit. So that's in there. and I've got Word on PC and Mac, so I can edit in both places. And then, yeah, it's the public Git. So, oh, there's a new SourceTree update. You must update. Great. But it's really great for handling Git. It's been a breeze.
Yeah, I always wondered how that worked. GitHub.
Okay, it's relaunching. Anyways, we're going to take this URL when I finally can click on things. Oh, jeez. Okay. It wants my GitHub password. To get updated and then it just exited. Okay, let's try again. Tree. There we go. It opened. Holy cow. Okay, this is SourceTree. And it's pretty awesome. You just take that URL and you plug it in. So you're going to say, like, clone new. You paste in. Jeez, that's the Hangout link. You paste in the public URL. I'll paste it in the chat here. I'll put it in the description too, I guess. It's also in my signature on the form. And I'll put it in the changelog so it'll be in the ODK download. So say, oh, okay. Anyways, you take this URL, and then you pop into SourceTree and you put it in there, and then you just put a path of where you want to check out. So I created a OUYA public stuff where I put the public OUYA stuff, and you put that there, clone, and a little bit later, then bam, you're in there. And then you can just click on the ouya-unity-plugin. I work on it a little bit, and it's like, okay, here's a change. So it's a little more obvious when it's a text change. Okay, so you see the diffs in this panel over here. That's kind of useful. And then you're like, okay, I'm done with my changes. Now I'm ready to commit. So you just drag it from there to the staging area, and then it goes into the stage changes. And then you just hit commit. You type in a little message, blah, 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 and then you commit. And then with Git, it commits locally until you hit the push button. And then push will push your changes out there. And then that's when I get them, and then I can say approve them or not approve them or whatever. And yeah, it's pretty painless. Although we could probably integrate all this stuff and put it right into Unity, like how we have the get good SVN thing. Could be like a good source tree. Okay, now I was going to do something with this. Oh, we were talking about IIP changes. So everything's the same, but I was just thinking that it's in the, not the examples, it's in the SDK. I guess it's part of the SDK. All right, so if we look at the show product example, like I've got all these listeners that require to implement these, well, implement the listeners interfaces. And so I was thinking for like get products, I have a way to add another callback for we get products on cancel. Doesn't have any arguments, and basically that's when the user's doing something and then they just hit the cancel button or press A to exit out of the menu. That would be there to say the user canceled, as opposed to like waiting for the failure and saying, oh, is the right error code or whatever. Then you would just know right away, hey, you canceled. Are you sure? Blah, and then you can handle that however you want to handle it. So I would put that in the products listener. I would put it in the receipts listener. Receipts and in the purchase listener for like I don't know. Let's say you're doing a purchase and it says, "Oh, connection timed out. Do you want to retry or cancel?" And then it would fire this thing. Yeah, purchase. Cancel. Cancel. All right. So now, how do you make that work? Well, and then once you add an interface, it requires that you implement those interfaces. So just take the failure guy. Cancel. No args. And it was called, and well, you don't need a string format just to say it. Okay. This guy, so he's got on success, on failure, cancel, purchase on failure. I think it's hailing. Cool. Okay. There's that guy, and then just the last interface, which is the get receipts on failure. On cancel. And then you can just intercept it and handle it however you want in your own GUI. So that's the first part. And oh, sorry. I forgot one thing. I sent the wrong Hangout link to Rupert. He's like, "Where is everybody?"
Oh.
Gotta update it in the forum so people like show up and stuff. There you go, Rupert. They'll see this later. Like, oh, I'll be in here in a minute. Okay. Anyways, this is the C#. Hey, Rupert. Sorry about that. I started the Hangout initially, and then it was Hangout on air wasn't working, so I had to like redo it. But you're muted today, I guess. Okay. So anyways, I was just showing we can add an on-cancel event for the purchase interfaces. And then on the Java side, we just do a little change. Like on the Java side, plugins, there we go, Android, source. And in the test facade, okay, so we already know, well, I guess if you guys are just getting into IIP, there's a get receipt. Maybe it's just a receipt list. Cool. All right. And it extends this cancel ignoring OUYA response listener. I am not a fan of that name. But then again, I'm not a fan of my own class name, which I called test OUYA facade. I should have called it, I don't know, the Unity plugin OUYA facade. I haven't really decided on it. Right now it's just called test OUYA facade. Anyways, if we want to have a cancel event, we change it from cancel ignoring OUYA response listener to just a OUYA response listener. And instead we just do implements. And then now, I'll just copy one of these overrides. I'll put my mouse right here so I know where to go. Okay, there's the on failure callback. And then we just say handle the cancel event. There's no problem. Fetching receipts. Just can't. Nothing to say about it. So, because there's no parameters. So that's that one. And then there's a. That was receipt listener. There's probably like a purchase listener. There's a cancel ignoring purchase listener. That's it. Anyways, we changed this to from extends to implements. Now that Rupert's here, I was going to ask him, like, what's the difference in Java between extends and implements? Because I had to use implements for some reason. Okay. On success. On failure.
Hey, did I hear my name in a question? I can't resist that.
Oh yeah, I had a Java question for you. What's the difference between extends and implements?
You implement a method on an interface, but you extend a class. The two are distinct in Java.
Okay.
Does that answer it? Sufficient detail, otherwise.
Yes, that makes sense because the cancel ignore OUYA response listener must be a class.
Yeah, it'll be a class that specifically just implements the onCancel method and then throws it away. Basically, that's shock horror.
Cool. All right, so then.
If you ever see a class in the Java world called something or other adapter, that's kind of a naming scheme that people often use for in the Java system libraries for something that implements a method that you don't need to do the other stuff yourself.
Oh, cool. I know what I was saying there. It's just purchase listener on cancel. All right, and then this is where we can send a message back when they hit cancel. So I could just say like it's gonna land on the OUYA game object, and to be consistent, I'll just say hit the purchase cancel listener. Sure, that works. I see. Okay. And so I had a receipt list complete listener, and then I'll just have a cancel here. Okay, and then on the OUYA game object, I just add these events so I can call back into it. But the main idea is that if you just implement the interface, then you can add an onCancel, and then you can distinguish between a failure and a cancel. Okay, so I had an APK to install. All right, well, while that's going, oh, you know what? I don't have my OUYA plugged in. It's plugged into my Mac, so I'm gonna have to plug it in. I was gonna test out that tattoo buggy driver thing. Thunder and lightning. I must have hit a tree. It sounded like it snapped. Oh, well, I'll be alright. If the power does go out, I can stay on battery for about 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Or connect with my laptop and then I could have like 10 hours of battery probably.
But your internet will go out, won't it?
Oh, I've got that on battery too, so just in case.
Ah.
But what happens with that is I'll have the it on battery. The actual Comcast internet will go out at Comcast before mine because their racks only have like an hour of battery power and then they just turn off.
Right.
Okay, let's try and install that again. Oh. Did that thing where it ran and then took it out of my downloads. There we go. Try again. Whitewater 26.
Do.
So I'm running the install command twice apparently. Okay, so this guy goes to the OUYA game object, so we'll look over there. Java to Unity event handlers, that sounds right. Oh, look at this stuff. I could probably delete this stuff now. Well, it'll be in the next one because we don't send JSON over anymore. Oh, and then also, if you're having any input latency, if you just go and upgrade to Unity 4.1.3, you'll get rid of any latency or ANR crash issues. Like, it's really easy. It's not specific to OUYA. It's on every Android device. With where you have a controller that has the trackpad built in. If you wiggle the trackpad while you're like button mashing, you can actually cause apps to crash and exit because they build up a surplus of motion and input events, motion and key events, and then the stack just builds and builds without processing all of them, and then eventually hits a limit, pauses for 5 seconds, and then throws a activity not responding exception and crashes the app. So there was a fix in the NDK, which is what the Unity player uses as a native activity, and it's fixed in the most recent version of Unity. So that's something that you should upgrade to if you're on the 4.x branch. On the 3.x branch, we get around that issue by using the Java input so that the native stuff doesn't crash. So at least for now, you can use our workaround.
When did the new version of Unity come out? Just today, or?
Oh, I better check that it is out. Maybe I'm telling you stuff that hasn't happened yet. Let's see. Download.
It might be up. I don't know. I haven't upgraded in a couple of weeks at least. So.
Okay, so it's still 4.1.2. All right. Well, when you see a 4.1.3, you get that, and then it'll have the. Because early on around the input, people are like, when I bump the trackpad, it crashes my app or whatever, and then that'll fix that. So
Gotcha. Okay.
But they were like, but when we use the ODK, it doesn't crash, and that's because we were sending over that super verbose thing across the Java interface, and I stole the input from Unity, and then it wasn't able to build a surplus event queue, and then it avoided the crash. So accidentally cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's some of these methods are obsolete. Do you know how to mark a event as obsolete? I think it's like, I just wanted to use this. Obsolete. I know. We look at like one of the Unity things that are obsolete, like quaternion, Euler, yeah, the ones with these cross-out things. What's the obsolete one? Come on.
It's going to be deprecated. You just know it will.
Ah, it won't go there. All right, whatever.
Nope.
I don't care which one, just take me there. Yay! Oh, it's obsolete. Oh. Obsolete attribute. Okay, anyways, now we can say this will be... Well, actually it won't, because this will... Well, it will. Yeah, it will. Okay. I'd be like 0.3, 13, 15. 13. Okay, so these methods are... Not that anybody would call this. The only thing that would ever have called this was Java. But apparently in Unity 4, if Java tries to call a public method and it doesn't exist, it just crashes. So, something to be careful about. Okay, our on menu appearing, that's something I need to check. On the latest. We have our on pause, on resume. Where's the stuff like purchase? Here we go.
You probably are doing this code on the basis of this question, the following question, but since I was really foolish and missed the start, what's the recommended best place to quickly learn how to do in-app purchase stuff with Unity now? Is there like this is the one doc, or that is the one video? What's a good one to go to? I haven't done it yet, obviously. And
okay, so all right, so I made the.
I know you already did it.
No, that's fine. I didn't really cover it. Okay, so I made the ouya-unity-plugin public and the Git repository owned by Ouya, and I included my Ouya Unity package doc or whatever that I used to make the PDF. And then this guy, I don't actually know how to different. Oh, okay. Then I'll just open it. So you can open it that way. In my case, I've got it locally. So that's a cool thing about this SourceTree thing is I can just go right-click, show and Explorer, and then you'll see the doc someplace. There you go. And if you have Office
SourceTree thing. You've been converted to Git at last, I see.
Never! You didn't see that. No, just kidding.
Okay, cool. So in this doc somewhere, I'll find
at the very
stuff.
end.
That's cool. Thanks.
That's fine. I'll go over it.
I didn't mean to derail things. It's just
no, it's all related to. I have no agenda. I'm just winging it. But hey, this isn't my latest doc. Oh, because I was working on the Mac. Right.
This is not my beautiful wife. Sorry.
Okay, well, in the latest doc, I populated all this stuff, and I put in, like, the different parameters. I separated it out, and I'll just check it in. With the beauty of source control, it will just update itself here. Okay, on the Mac... I also have the cool SourceTree thing. Okay. And I have my Word document and the changes I was looking for. Beautiful. Yeah, with some kind of explanation on what you were asking about. Okay, save. Back to SourceTree. Okay, so in SourceTree, on the other side that you can't see, I just drag the changes to the doc up to the staging area, and then I'm just going to commit it. Commit to the staging area. Oh, click on uncommitted changes. There we go. Maybe I already committed it. Okay, so with source, then you do a pull. Okay.
Yeah, I did the most crazy use of Git ever the other day. I was doing a offering some changes back to a library I use, the 2D toolkit library, and I pulled down his stuff. I'd done all of my local changes, and then I was thinking, oh, I want to ship him back a really nice, neat thing. You know, it's a Unity package, and what's the neatest way I can think to remove all of the irrelevant rubbish that I don't want in this thing? And you guys probably have like a really clever, like there's a clear, you know, a build clean button, like I'd expect from a makefile or something, but I didn't know what that was for Unity, foolishly. But I did know that I have the right .gitignore file to remove a load of rubbish, so I was like, oh, well, I kind of want to put those things into my repository on the server anyway. I'll just commit the whole thing to the server and then clone it locally and zip the local extract of the thing. Git's so neat. Crazy.
Yeah, people are very dedicated to Git.
The depressing part is after you've used some others, it's just... I mean, I was a dedicated, you know, SCCS guy, and then I was a CVS guy, and then an SVN guy, and then a Mercurial guy, and... Nah, sorry, Git's just better than them all.
Okay.
Did I miss RCS? I think I missed RCS.
Okay. Yeah, I started with CVS and then went to SVN and TFS and lit the server on fire. And I think I've been a fan of SVN the longest, only because I've had the fewest issues.
It's good when you're doing binary stuff, that's for sure. You know, working with media generating people, designers and whatnot. It can't beat it on that. But yeah, if you've ever renamed stuff and it's just no, quite, you know, I want to rename this directory and stuff like that. Well, makes me twitchy whenever I have to do something like that.
It's not so bad as long as you do it in the repro browser. Okay. So I just added a white space, saved it, checked it in, and now, and I had to edit a super verbose comment, like updated documentation.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
How is everybody? It sucks. I'm using a Rock Band mic.
Oh. So we're
you have to give us some sing song now. Let's hear your I don't know, Slade or something.
Not happening.
Is it Rock Band or Rock Smith?
Rock Band?
Okay. 1, 2, or 3, or the Beatles one?
I have 2, so.
All right. Let's see what was in that one. Well, they all have Nirvana Bloom. Go.
Got the entire set list right here.
Do you have favorites?
Not really.
I think the most surreal thing I had with Rock Band, my oldest friend who I've known since I was 9, he's really quiet, quite retiring. I mean, he'll talk when you know one-on-one, but he's such a quiet guy. And we went to his house. He had the whole, like, you know, the drum kit and the guitars and the mics and all this sort of thing. And we'd never had a go before. And we had a go, and it's like, oh, this is quite good. And he said, oh, let's have a go. And got it out. And I knew conceptually he was a death metal fan. What I hadn't quite realized was that he was just going to sing to it. My goodness me. Oh.
Okay. So, already not a fan of Git. I've got to like close Unity to update because it's saying some files are locked or something.
So what have you guys been talking about?
Silence.
You know, just stuff. Hey, Marco.
Hi.
Oh, hi there, Marco.
How's it going?
Not too bad. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm just been banging my head on this new tool that I'm building. It's driving me crazy.
It's awesome.
Wait, what are you making?
It's a new utility to take a sprite sheet and convert it from a sprite sheet to straight like animations that modify your UVs, and it'll basically generate all of the animations that are within the sprite sheet so that you can play them just like you would if it came off of a 3D model.
Oh my god, that's actually awesome. I could have used that before.
Yeah, well, I've been building it, and I'm trying to get it to generate, like auto-generate everything properly. I was going to demo it for you guys in a few minutes. I'm trying to work out a couple things first, though.
There we go.
So it's not like completely done, but
It's a pretty cool idea behind it, though.
yeah. I mean, it works. It's just it's not working for all the animations in my sprite sheet. That's why I'm banging my head. It generates the first one perfectly, and then all of the other animations are just empty.
Aww.
Actually, I can just demo it the way it is right now.
Yeah.
So, does it actually like make geometry, or is it just like into a material or something like that?
No, it's based on a material. So I'll show you right now.
Yeah, I'll have to do this so I can get it into the high-res capture.
Okay. Can you see it?
I can see your screen now. Yep.
So underneath my hashbang thing, this will all be in its own toolbar, but right now I just have it called Sprite Keyframe. And the tool is going to be called SK Studio, so it's Sprite Keyframe Studio. So if I open my panel, it's over here, I'll select a material that has all of my sprite animations in it. And so you'll see that I have several different things. And so this is like, the reason you see that little thing where my mouse is because we were going to make it so that you can click the keyframes that you want in the animation, which that part's not working yet. But essentially what you do is you modify these two values for how many rows and columns are in your sprite sheet. So if I scroll down, you'll see I have all this extra space in my sprite sheet, and those extra spaces actually need to be accounted for inside of your number. So if I had put like 10 here, you'll see that the squares are all off, right? So that's because even though there's only 10 visual rows, there's actually 16. So I'll put that back. So once you have this adjusted correctly, you set up how many frames per second you want it to run, and you click Create Animation. Then you want to add sequences. Now each sequence is like one of your animations, and that's why we wanted to make it so you can click the first frame and the last frame, and it would just generate a whole sequence from that. In my case, the animation is 2 rows, consists of one animation. So I'm going to add a sequence and say this is run. We'll just call it north. And And you won't have to fill out these parts because if you select it, it'll automatically populate out these two additional values. So I'm starting from 0, and then I'm going to go 16 frames. And then you just click Generate Animations. And what it's done is it's taken the material, created a folder underneath my animation, and created an animation itself.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and then if I click on my object and I go into the animation window, you'll see here's my north animation. You can set it to like loop. And then, yeah, and then I have a preview window. This isn't fully done yet either. So you'll just be able to, you won't have to open the animation window. You'll just be able to select the animation and just push play and be able to see it in this preview. But until then, I can just show you what it looks like when it's running. So if I just push play, you'll see my characters running, and it's playing that first set of keyframes. And you'll be able to access this on whatever object you attach your animation to. So the actual setup for it is pretty straightforward. You'll see that I have an animation object, or a game object. It has an animation attached to it. My tool automatically added the animation to the animation list. So you can use this game object just like any 3D model by calling .play and specify the animation name, and it'll play that animation.
I could have so used that 2 months ago.
Right? So it'll be pretty slick once it's all done and like working perfectly.
How much are you going to charge for it?
Well, I was going to charge 30.
It's not a bad price.
Yeah. See how many people bite at that.
And the real trick is to get it into the 24-hour sale.
Yeah.
Right.
So the 30 will probably end up going to like 15.
Tim, did you do good on your 24-hour sale?
Yeah, good SVN was on there.
Did it sell well?
Yeah, I mean, we sold like 45 copies, which was pretty good.
Actually good.
And that's pretty much it.
Cool.
It'll be a lot cooler once I have like all the little extras working, so where it makes it real easy for you to select everything and all that.
Did you think of doing like a? I'm sure this is like 1,000 times more complicated, but because of the overdraw issue on OUYA, and then have it generate planes that basically clip out the alpha.
Flip out the alpha.
So it like alters the geometry, so it it hugs the alpha around your sprite.
Oh, I see what you mean. So that it's actually like generating geometry based on what your thing looks like.
In your case,
there's
though,
like less overdraw, basically.
Right. Well, in his case, I don't think you're actually manipulating the UVs, right? You're manipulating the shader material offset.
Yes.
So it should be like super lightweight because it's just modifying the material shader frames.
You could. I guess you could do that manually and just make yourself a piece of geometry and attach it to it. It's based on the material, so your material is...
The material can go on a plane.
Yeah.
Or a train.
Map.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. I was just curious if you like how far you're going to take it kind of thing, but looks cool.
That would actually be pretty cool to do, like, if...
Make it an add-on.
Yeah. If I got around to doing it, first I want to get this working.
Yeah, for sure.
And then
it looks cool.
Yeah, and then once I get that working, I bet I could figure out a way to generate it from. I don't know. That'd be kind of difficult because how do you differentiate a pixel that's not transparent from a pixel that's transparent?
Right.
But based on the texture type,
could
whether
you
it's transparent or not transparent.
Sorry.
And it's in the material. Well, the texture format, you know, when you generate your preview, how you specify the ARGB format.
Right.
If it's not RGB8, then it's got transparency on it.
Oh.
But then you also have to check the shader lab. There's if only you had like a shader parser. Oh wait, I have one of those. Basically, you can parse the shader, and there's some stuff you put in the shader just to allow transparency.
Yeah.
And you can detect it at that level, and then just kind of store it in a prefab so you remember what the settings are.
Yeah. I could see that working if you have like if it's either it's transparent or it's not transparent. But if you had a sprite that was like partially transparent, that would become a problem.
Right.
You would have to treat that as just not transparent.
But wouldn't you say that if I've understood the goal correctly, you're trying to say I've got a 16 pixel sprite in the middle of a 32 pixel area, and you've got the blanks on both sides. Is that kind of what you the problem or the goal?
No, what they wanted is like if your sprite is a little guy inside of your square, right? Mm-hmm. You have all that extra space that's around it. Yeah. Well, if you could cut down the overdraw by removing the geometry around him.
Yeah. That's I didn't phrase it very well, but yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So I guess because it's always going to be rectangular, you've actually got a relatively easy problem. Beforehand you pre-process, you go through all of the cells, you have a line that's at the theoretical line that's at the top, the bottom, and the two sides, and you bring them in by the amount that all of the sprites don't contain that space.
Right. But what happens when you have a gradient? Like, let's say your animated sprite guy is holding a torch, and that torch has light. The gradients would have semi-transparency.
Yeah, but that counts as non-transparent, doesn't it? Because that's something that has to be drawn. So, or you give them an option of providing a threshold that says, up to this amount. But I would have assumed it would be, if they put a pixel there, they want a pixel there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would basically have to be like 100% transparent, right? Because otherwise you wouldn't want to clip it, I suppose. But
the funny part is, of course, I don't know about you guys. I've definitely drawn sprite sheets where I've ended up with, the bounds, if you like. They grow and shrink over time, and I'd assume you'd want that. You might have your sprite actually does lurch like to the left and to the right as it walks, and you therefore have to fix those bounds to be the same amount, so that it would always work. There's some interesting stuff to be had.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I suppose you could do like a overlay of all of the, the different sprites, and then use like the maximum it covers, and then make one shape based on that.
Yeah. That's a much better. I was thinking to iterate, for each cell, for each pixel. It's like, your ways are loads better.
But either way, though, it would just be a one-time generation when you're creating animation, so that it creates the geometry for you.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's always going to be more efficient for you to do it inside of a Maya. You can get the right exact geometry for the overdraw, and just use
But if people did that, then we wouldn't have interesting little algorithmic puzzles like this to play with. Of course.
So true.
But no, sounds good. Sounds cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I'll get it all completed by sometime today, because I need to generate my animations, and I got to do some video clips of our game and stuff. You guys want to take a sneak peek at our game?
Yes.
Yeah. What game are you making?
It's called Press Start.
Okay.
Yep, that's all I'm doing. So it's basically a survival arena brawler. So you kind of have an arena where
You brawl.
you brawl.
It's gonna be simple.
So this is kind of what it's gonna look like a little bit, and you have your guys that are gonna come out here.
Phew, I'm glad to see no snowmen yet.
No snowman. So, these guys will spawn and they'll come out of the area over here.
Nice artwork though.
Thanks. And
Are you using your 360 controller?
huh?
Are you using the 360 controller?
No, not right now.
Mouse.
Yeah. We're all doing Macarena practically. But the idea, so this is kind of like what the levels will look like, but the idea behind it is that we're going to have a main scene, something like this, and whoa, what the hell happened to my main scene?
Wow.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, this is not looking very impressive. But the idea is that, see how these are all in like quadrants right here? And every time we have this like little countdown timer, and every time the countdown timer ticks, it'll spin this reel, and the reel will select a different enemy, a different level, and a different power up, like a weapon or health, and it'll spawn. It'll kill everything that's on the platform that's going to move, and then these will just drop down, bam, like that, and new enemies will spawn out of that quadrant. And so it's just like a forever changing game that will just nonstop until you have more enemies than you can deal with.
I like the idea of that because then it's kind of random because then you have like
Mm-hmm.
it's more variety, right? And gives
Yeah.
more replay value.
Yeah, and we'll have like a whole bunch of different level tiers that will spawn down. And we have like some really kooky characters, like we have office wrestlers, like they're like luchadors that come out from your office environment. Here, I'll show you the office environment.
So how long has this game been in production?
Just over a month. So you have like, here's our office.
Oh, I do like the art. It's actually 3D. Those
Yeah.
are they?
Yeah,
Oh, that is lovely.
it's all
Really nice.
3D.
It's just got a cell shader in it or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, it's like a toon shader.
Cool.
It makes it look really nice.
Yeah. I thought it was just 2D stuff, but no, that is good.
Yeah,
This is kind of the aesthetic I was going for with Snowman, but I'm not so good at art. Damn.
And then I don't have all the shoot.
Oh, that's lovely. I love the bins. Knowing how hard it is to do cell, to get the geometry right to work for the bins, so the cell works properly on the edges of rectangular things like that. Oh,
Yeah.
This is nicely done.
Yeah, my art team's really good. I don't do the art myself, but
I'm sure the programming and all of the Unity stuff is awesome too. It's always a bummer when somebody focuses on, it's like they're looking at the other bit. No, I didn't do that. But look at this other bit over here that I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish I was as good as creating video games as you guys were. I'm still like in the process of learning. learning.
We're all in the process of learning.
Yeah, ditto.
it's a never-ending thing, actually. Like, you just always learn something new every project.
But it's cool because I might be going to like a studio in September for an internship,
Oh,
which
cool.
would be pretty cool, actually. I think that would be awesome. So I'll learn a lot there and then be able to take it back.
Yeah, so all these things are all 3D.
that's actually awesome.
Do you know which one it is? Was that part of the Google Summer of Code or something for school or?
Who are you asking? You asking me?
No, Kevin. Yeah, he was talking about his internship.
Oh, gotcha.
I think he might have.
I think Kev got called away by his manager. So, Marco, do you mind my asking? And the brawler aspects, it's somewhat similar but somewhat different. So I'm aware that we're like close to competitors, but I don't think we're actually competing. You've seen the Snowman game, right? It's like multiplayer, you all fight each other. But I'm working on. I'm not working on. I talked to Tim the other week about AI, and he pointed me at Rain, and I had a look at it. I'm curious, what are you doing with the baddie control? The AI. Are they just like they move directly towards your player, or anything smart? Or because I looked at it, it was like, oh man, this is gonna take ages.
Watch this. Ready?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna be back over.
I had to order a new Nexus 4, guys.
I downloaded this fantasy AI free edition. I don't know if you've looked at that.
No?
Try using Rain AI. I actually started using it.
Yeah,
Really good.
I have the Rain Indie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But this is already
Done
set up exactly for what we need it. So
yeah.
all I do is just take my little Skelly guy over here.
I get it.
Stick him right there.
It's funny because as soon as I saw the art style, I was like, now I gotta try this with my 2.5D game and see what works.
Oh, he's giant. Okay.
Hey, I've seen that guy.
Yeah. So here's my Skelly guy, right? I'm gonna put a bunch of them in here.
I like him with the red hat though, the cone.
Yeah. Stick him in.
I just have to maintain power for 4 more minutes.
Oh really? It went out.
Well, I had flickered for a minute. The thunder and lightning going on everywhere.
Oh. Okay, so I got 3 Skelly guys in here, right? Oh, hold on. I gotta make them not do combat because if I have them doing the combat stuff right now, then that'll blow up. So let me turn combat off. So what I really like about this package is that it's pretty much all ready to go and set up. You just need to there's some minor tweaks that you need to do for making it shoot and interact with your existing architecture, but it's pretty minimal. But all of the enemy AI of what they're supposed to do, which is chase after you and attack you. It has ranged attack and all that stuff built in. This is why I created my animation tool, is because it uses animations and not a sprite sheet
Right.
tool or whatever.
Mhm.
So I wanted everything to be done with animations so that it could just play the animations for
Cool.
the characters. So now if I push play, I get close to these guys. Oh, they're not going because I didn't give them a target. So let me give them a target. So each of these guys get my player as the target. Now obviously you can do all this through script. So okay. So now when I push play, here you go. Hey, come on, seriously. What did I do wrong? Hold on.
Don't you hate it when the AI does not want to do what you want it to do?
There's this guy.
Because he's doing the stab attack.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, he's successfully rolled for sneak attack, the thief skill.
no, you should turn around and go after me. What am I doing wrong? Enable combat. This all has player test on it.
If you guys can hear me typing obnoxiously, tell me.
Oh, is this because it needs to be character collision there? They're all in the right place. I've had this working many a times. The hell? Come on. They're running after me. Oh, there they go.
Oh,
Maybe
there
they
we
need
go,
to
look at
see you.
that. Wow,
Do
they're pretty
they-
aggressive.
Do they do? Does it do like an A star? It's dodging. Look like
Yeah.
it successfully. Yeah.
They're,
Nice.
what I really like about this is that they're aware of themselves. Like,
Yeah.
that guy is kind of getting... Oh, you can't see. Hold on. Okay. He kind of got stuck. Hooray.
They're grouping around you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks great. It's very cool.
Yeah.
So this
And-
is easier than doing a playmaker boss battle again.
Yeah. Get away from me, skeleton.
They are fast as well. You're in
Yeah.
trouble.
And you can adjust their speed too. So like
No, of course.
if I take one of these guys down and
That's in the asset store, is it?
like yeah.
Cool.
And this is the free version.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking that. What did they charge you for?
So now they all saw me. So now that one Skelly's he's running a little slow. But maybe he's
He's gonna backstab the other guys.
Yeah.
After he gets the loot.
And when you stop, Tim said, do they successfully surround you rather than all just like
yeah.
queue up on each other?
Yeah.
That is nice.
So that's in the asset store. What's that called?
It's called Fantasy AI Free Edition.
Okay, cool.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah,
It definitely
we'll
needs
check.
a little tweaking. Like as you saw down here, they kind of got stuck around the table and stuff. So I don't know if I have to tweak their code a little bit. Just need to make the collision a little better so
Yes.
that they can.
Sometimes you have to make like a map, like a avoidance map, and then just say, tell them don't go in these areas, or
Yeah, that might actually be the difference between the free version and the paid version. Is I think the paid version allows you to use like nav meshes, so you could lay down a nav mesh of where they're allowed to go, and it probably will find you better.
you could totally do like a Hercules game where they like dogpile on top of you, where they're like 20 high, and then you go raw and throw them everywhere.
I added a toon shader to my guy.
Even the Hulk. Cool. All right. Well, I wanted to show one more thing, which was just for whatever reason, Git sucks. Just had to put that out there. But I was trying to get an update, and it wasn't updating my doc in SourceTree. So, but I was able to just use the URL. The one that's checked in is this one. So I went through and I just documented the changes for the different interfaces for the things you want to do. So you guys getting started with the IAP can read through this, and tells you what you register, tells you what you call, and then what listeners are called, and how to get receipts and stuff.
Brilliant.
And then I'm going to start adding some more stuff because the OUYA stuff has kind of like a player preps, except for it saves to a SQLite database, and you can store like whether the stuff was locked or unlocked securely, and you can store that on the Java side. So if I give you an interface, you could use that as your locking mechanism versus like, you already have player preps, but that'll go across builds maybe. I don't know. I'll document it, and then you'll know all about it.
Yay for documents.
Yeah, documentation.
Documents.
Kev, you're really quiet. I don't know. Is that the same for everyone else?
Well,
my rock
just-
band.
Yeah, it's the rock
There we
band
go.
mic. He has to hold it in front of him.
Nah, I just kind of lay it down on the desk.
But it's not working too well. So I need something to hold it up. That's where PS3 game cases come in handy.
Alright, cue the rock band music. Let's see.
Alright, almost there. Oh, hey, I found $20.
Sweet. Perfect. All right.